And welcome to the Hired Gun Podcast with your host, the Hired Gun. First, like, subscribe, share. So how you guys doing, y'all? So let me be clear on this one here. The elimination chamber was a six at best. A six. It was okay. It wasn't the best elimination chamber there was, but story wise, it was a good 7.5. Story wise, like as a whole, it's like a six, like a six. You know. So let's talk about some stuff that happened at the chamber and what's happening on Raw today. All right. So let me get into the Dan housing thing. So people in Chicago, and I heard somebody said something on X today. All right, all right. That the Chicago crowd you had there, it's not really a Chicago crowd because the Chicago crowd that usually go there can't afford tickets. So we didn't think about that. Because it ain't just Chicago. There's other places too. Alright? So, like, the people, like the crowds that we usually get for other stuff, ain't that no more. Yeah, do they sell out? Yes. But it's for people who can afford the tickets and stuff. But saying because I don't want to get on to that bandwagon, start bitching about the crowd and all that stuff, because that's not how. That's the overseas. But I'm talking about the Dan Houser thing. So I knew weeks ago that when they did this whole crowd, this whole bots thing, that it wasn't Jericho. Alright? I knew weeks ago because of the fact that once they said that Tony Khan froze Jericho's contract, he didn't extend it because, if he extended it, that's one thing. We just gotta wait till it gets until it expires. Freezing the contract means Jericho staying put until further notice. That's what that means. Because it's been done by the E several times. Alright? But I don't think they ever did. They haven't done it on the Triple H's era. But on the Vince's era, they did it with Neville, who was packed for AEW. They did it with him. And then before that, they did it with Ray on his first contract. They just froze his contract, and he couldn't go nowhere else until they just figured some shit out, and Ray did this and did that, and then they let him go, or B, he just lets you go eventually, because now they feel like you can't really do nothing to us if you go somewhere. It's the same thing that happened with our Ricky Sink with AEW. They just froze his contract until Tony Khan was like, all right, you can go. So like I knew it wasn't going to be Jericho because the fact that we still don't know if it's a frozen contract or if it's at in time, because I think Tony Khan found a loophole with Jericho's contract because Jericho didn't take time off because he was hurt or nipped up. He took time off to do some tours and stuff. So it didn't count against his contract per se. But then Tony Khan found a loophole, he can just freeze it. Is it petty? Yeah. But I understand. Business wise, I understand. I do. And Tony Khan's been doing this for years. Alright, if he even sniff that you want to go to that you want to jump ship, he puts you on ice. and he just pays you. But this is literally on ice right here with Jericho. So I knew it wasn't going to be Jericho, and then I knew it was going to be Danhausen over the weekend because they removed Danhausen. AEW removed Danhausen from the roster because that's another one they just iced and made him sit home. And then because Danhausen, see, Danhausen wanted to lead lead AEW before this. Alright, and then he didn't want his contract to get extended for injury time, but Tony Khan did it because he knew then that Danhausen wanted to do the WWE because he's good friends with CM Punk. So he iced him, and he extended his contract uh, for injury time. Tony Khan has done this with Penta. He's done this with uh, Baker. He's done this with Ray Phoenix. You know, he tried to do it with Andrade, but Andrade forced his way out. Well, it's funny, Andrade's there again. You know, but it was Danhausen, and you know, I'm gonna say two things about this. No one's saying that they don't know who he is, because if they didn't, they wouldn't have booed him. See, because he got booed. You know, it wasn't like who is this? Like the only person who's saying who's this is that hard WWE fan who don't watch nothing else. All right, who's not gonna get the jokes or what's going on with Jericho or any of the other stuff. All right, like those are gonna be the people who say. Those are gonna be the people who don't know who Danhausen is. All right, and his character and stuff. But he got booed. All right, so there was enough boos for people to know who he was. Now, so let me say this. I understand the boos. I do because this here could have been done on TV. This here could have been done on Raw or SmackDown because Danhausen is not gonna move the needle for you. Like he's not. Like Danhausen is not gonna move the needle for you to feel like, oh shit, it's Danhausen. I gotta tune in. No, it's not. It's not. Like Danhausen is a more of a our truth in the back. Because I'm not saying he can't wrestle, right? I'm not saying that, alright? But it's our truth. He's just the emo. He's just the emo our truth. That's what he is. You know, he cracks jokes. He's scary. Um, he was paint on his face and everything. Can WWE market him and make money off him? Yes. That's different. You know, if they can make money off of Penta's mask, and they can make money off of Mystery Iguana and his stuff, right? They can make stuff off of Danhausen. They can. They will. But again, this should have been done on Raw or SmackDown because this is not a big deal. Like it's not, and then for the people who know Danhausen, we knew he was coming here. Right now, there was some in the back that was iffy about this, right? And him getting booed made them even feel more iffy about it. Now the WWE know they can't just throw out anybody out there and make us feel like it's a big deal. They can't. It can't be that way. See, what happened was when they got Penta, right? And he just went straight to Raw, right? And he got that bit popped up because people knew who he was. Like more people knew who he was, and he got a reaction and everything, and they wanted the same thing with Dan Housen. Listen, this ain't shade at Dan Housen. He's not Penta. He's not. All right, like Penta has been able, and I'm not saying Dan Housen hasn't, but Penta has a body of work. All right, he has a body of positive work. He's been everywhere, and he's done bigger things than Dan Housen. He has. He had, but that's what he wanted with Dan Housen, and he wasn't going to get that because, again, this should have been done on TV. Penta was done on TV. It wasn't on the pay per view. It wasn't. So like I get the booze, but I also gotta say that that the only people who shouldn't think who shouldn't have thought that it was Jericho is the people who are not like me and don't read dirt sheets and don't know what's going on and just they just tuned in and locked in, all right, and they wanted Jericho, all right, but to people who know shouldn't be mad. So we knew that wasn't Jericho in that box. Like we know what's going on with Jericho until Chris Jericho's name has been removed from the AEW roster. We shouldn't worry about Jericho. It is not a thing. It is not a thing until it is a thing. Right? Right? So let me move on now and talk about the women's chamber. No, yeah, the women's chamber. Because I can talk about the CM Punk and Finn thing next. Because we knew who was winning that. So the two people I thought was gonna win the female chamber was at the end. It was Rhea and Tiffany. I wanted Tiffany to win because story-wise, it makes more sense for it to be Tiffany. But business-wise and money-wise, it's Rhea. And you can say, oh, they've outdone Rhea. They played out Rhea, but they haven't. They haven't. Like you feel how you want to feel about Rhea, right? But the three female wrestlers, they have downplayed for the whole year. The whole year, right? And I say downplayed because I know there's gonna be somebody that say, "Oh, but she's won the tag team titles." Tag team title. Like this year alone, that the tag team titles, the women's tag team titles, have been more relevant than any tag team titles anywhere else. All right, this is the first time since Bianca, not Bianca, Becky and Becky, not Becky, Bailey and Sasha Banks had them titles. Alright? Alright? The women's tag team titles have been more relevant this year than any other year that they've been created. Since they've been created. Okay? So, again, the three chicks that they have downplayed and haven't been in the big scene, alright, it's Bianca because she's hurt. And even if she wasn't hurt, right? Even if she wasn't hurt, they still would have did the same thing they did with Rhea and Charlotte. Okay? They let these three women like they let these three women come down. Like pause. Well, not really. But they let these three women not be in the main event picture. Was the teaser a tease of that? Yeah. but it didn't it didn't surface to anything. Now, some of that probably had no. Even when Liv was hurt, right? They still kept Rhea away from the title picture, the main title picture, and because even when Rhea and Liv were feuding, they wasn't they wasn't well it was for the title at one point, but after Rhea lost the title, they put her down there because of the fact that they heard the chatter. Oh, super Rhea, super Bailey, not Bailey, Bianca, super Charlotte, right? Right now, more so Charlotte and more so Charlotte and Bianca, right? That they just cooled them down. That's the word. They cooled them down, and then Rhea too. They cooled them down because of the fact that they knew eventually they was gonna put them back up. All right, and Charlotte, and some people were saying Charlotte would have been a better choice. And you know what? Some of me feel that way too. But you know what? A lot of people would have bitched about that. Okay, a lot of people would have bitched about it. Even though Charlotte hasn't been in the main event picture since she lost at last year's Mania. Alright, and when they tried to eliminate her and Alexa Bliss as a tag team sooner than later, Charlotte was the one that stepped in and said, no, let's keep this going for a little while. Now it's coming to an end because Charlotte's probably gonna fight Alexa Bliss at Mania, right? And then but Rhea was the right choice. Business wise, she's the right choice. Story wise, not so much. But Rhea's gonna win. Rhea's gonna win. Okay, and then they're gonna shift Rhea to SmackDown. Now, you know who else is going to SmackDown? Io. Because Io's gonna fight. Well, let me not say Io's gonna fight because that may not be true. I can see Io fighting Julia, yes, at WrestleMania. I can see that. I can see that, right? Right. But we still haven't gotten Oscar versus Io yet. So what I was gonna say is Io's going to SmackDown too because Io's going to be Julia for the United States title. But Io still has to fight Oscar. So Io might fight Oscar at the elimination. I mean, at WrestleMania because it hasn't happened yet. Now I'd rather see Io versus Julia for the Women's United States title. I'd rather see that, but we don't know. But Rhea, business wise, she's the right choice. Ratings wise, she's the right choice. Ticket. Well, I mean, deal with business. Rhea's the right choice. There's no way around that. Once Bianca couldn't come back, Rhea's the right choice. Right? And it's less bitching about her winning than Charlotte winning. And that's the truth. That's the truth. Like ain't no way around that. Because do you have some people who bitching about Rhea winning? Yeah. But it would have been more bitching and moaning and crying about Charlotte winning. Damn the fact that Charlotte hasn't been in the main event picture in almost a whole fucking year. Damn that, right? Right? It's just flicky fucking fans. They bitch, and then when you give them something new, they still bitch about it. Right? Or you know what happens? You know what happens? They get what they want, right? And then 2 months later or a month, they start watching fucking TV. They stop watching because you know who You know, uh, who that happened to? Kofi. Because because the so-called fans wanted Kofi to win, right? Right? And when and they was behind them the whole fucking time, right? And then they won it, and you know what happened? They stopped fucking watching, right? And then you got mad when Brock beat him in 5 seconds. No, y'all did that. Brock didn't do that. Vince didn't do that. Y'all did that shit. Like y'all did it, and then you know who else suffered for that shit? Big E. Right? Right? It's a pattern. Trust me, it's a pattern here. Alright, Big E. Alright? Alright. He won it. People wanted him to win it. He cashed in. He won it. And you know what happened? The same thing that happened to Kofi. They stopped fucking watching. Right? And you know what happened? Brock beat him too. Right? And the same people who stopped fucking watching, it's the same people, right, who was crying and bitching about it. Shut the fuck up. But I digress. I digress. So the Finn and CM Punk thing. Oh no. We talk about that and I talk about it. We going past 25 minutes today. So happy. Alright. So the CM Punk and AJ Styles. The CM Punk and Finn match. It's a good match. I like the match. I do. I did. I like the match. Now, let me say something about this match. Okay? Let me say something about this match. And was it a bad match? It wasn't. I liked the match too. Okay. So I knew AJ was winning. He's saying AJ. Sorry, y'all. I knew CM Punk was winning. Okay, like there wasn't enough backup for Finn to win, and I don't mean Judgment Day. I mean fanfare. It wasn't enough of me fans out there to make Finn win. Like it wasn't because and then the match is already set. They're not gonna do the. This ain't like the whole Drew McIntyre and Cody match, right? That people are so sick of that 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 they don't want to see that match at Mania because it's been done 7 times already, right? The CM Punk and Rowan has been teased, hasn't been done. It's been teased. It's been teased ever since Punk came back. It's been teased. Hasn't been done. Just like when they teased the whole CM Punk and Cody. It's been teased. Hasn't been done. Like 1-on-1 it hasn't been done. It's been done in the Rumble. In the Rumble when they the last two, yes. Yeah, but it hasn't been done. Right? The Drew and the Drew Cody has been done a lot. So to have it at Mania is a letdown. So, you know, but the CM Punk and Roman has been set. They just needed somebody to be CM Punk's TV feud, and that's what that was. It was a TV feud that they got a pay-per-view match, right? And there was no help from Judgment Day because Finn didn't want it, and then it didn't happen. So now it's gonna come back to bite Finn because JD, Dom, and JD and Dom are going to be in Finn's face about this. Now, that might cost Dom the IC title tonight for Raw. That might happen. Not sure yet. Not sure yet. Um, but we knew AJ was winning. I keep saying AJ. Sorry. We knew CM Punk was winning. I enjoyed the entrance. Now, saying that, sometimes CM Punk looked gassed, dog. And he looked tired. Alright? And Roman brought it up. And I'm pretty sure Roman's gonna bring that shit up tonight. Right? Right? And then CM Punk's gonna bring up the whole he's always there and he's a fighting champ. And that's cool. And that may be true. But sometimes CM Punk is gassed with his matches. And sometimes you don't see it because sometimes you only see it when he's in a ring. He's in a ring with somebody that can really, really go, and he hit that second gear, and then CM Punk got to ground him and take his time. Right, right. Like you've seen it a couple times so far. You've seen it in the AJ match, right? And then you've seen it in the Finn match. The first Finn match was better than the second Finn match, but he had time. He got time now. See, but it's nice to hear CM Punk say, alright, that he's always there. He's a fighting champ. Alright, that's it. That shit sound nice to hear. Like that shit sound nice to hear, right? But it only matters to the fans, right? Like the E don't care about that shit, and Roman don't care about that shit. All right, and he's gonna say that shit today. And certain fans who like Roman and love Roman don't care that CM Punk's there every day out of the week. It's true. It's true. But you know, we'll see what happens tonight. Man, we gonna see if Roman eats CM Punk alive again, face to face, because the first one Roman won. Roman won. So let's see if CM Punk can recover from it. Okay, but right now the Roman won the first one. All right, and I never say that about CM Punk face to face with somebody again, like in a promo war. All right, but we knew CM Punk was winning. Alright. The AJ Lee, Becky. And I'm not staying long on this because AJ won. Which I knew she was gonna win. Like I knew AJ was gonna win because because this, like now this can go two ways. I didn't think about this before. Alright. Either we get in that match again at Mania, or he's just gonna play somebody else at Mania. Like Roxanne, Raquel, somebody for Judgment Day. Alright? And then Becky is probably gonna fight Carr, the referee. Who's a wrestler, y'all? If you don't know. Like she's a wrestler, but they put her as a referee because of the fact that it wasn't using her. But she's been in the ring a couple times. And NXT and stuff. Alright, she's a wrestler. That's why Becky keeps getting in her face and everything and provoking her and everything. Because she's a wrestler. And they know they can use her. Now I don't know, but I don't know. But AJ won. And either we'll see tonight what he's gonna do with her because Becky is having a meltdown on Twitter and everything else right now. But we'll see what happens with that. We'll see what happens with that. Alright. Let's get down to the men's elimination. So I told y'all Friday? I told y'all Friday that not AJ. I told you on Friday that my two winners Either it was gonna be Cody or Randy. And I was 60-40 on it because of the fact that they couldn't be so they couldn't be predictable this whole pay per view. They couldn't be. They couldn't. Alright, they had to put something in the water to make this happen. Now, did they put some stuff in the water before that? Yeah. But it's stuff you knew. But it's stuff you knew what was gonna play out. Okay, you knew that Drew was gonna get in that. It was getting that cage somehow. A chamber somehow. Like we knew that was gonna happen. It had to happen, right? Because Drew's been getting involved in matches with Cody and Randy and Sammy the whole 2 months since he's won the belt. Because he didn't want Cody or Jacob or Orton to win. Right? Like Drew's been picking and choosing who he wants to be in a feud. I mean, not in a feud, in a match with. He's been picking and choosing. He wanted Sammy because he's beaten Sammy 12 times. Right? He didn't want Jacob, and he didn't want Cody. Alright, and he didn't want Orton. Alright, he wanted Sammy. Alright? Alright, so we knew Drew was getting involved in that match. Alright, we also knew that the Mystery Man, even though they so-called masked the Mystery Man, the Masked Man Friday, which we knew that wasn't going to be. Either if that was going to be it, then I mean they shut the whole situation of the Masked Man. Alright, and then he found out that the Masked Man from Friday is from Seth Rollins' school. Alright? Then, but she knew the Masked Man was happening Sunday. And he was in a case too. Now, all they did is when they put Logan Paul in this match, is the same thing that was supposed to happen, the same thing that was supposed to happen with Russell Reed, they just gave it to Logan Paul. Because Russell Reed was supposed to eliminate 3 people, just like Logan Paul did. Russell Reed was supposed to eliminate Javon Evans, LA Knight, and Trent Williams. And that's the same people that Logan Paul eliminated. Same people. Alright? So all they did was switch it up. Right? Because Russell Reed's hurt. He just had surgery. There's a picture of him on his bicep. So they just switched the push to Logan Paul. Right? Then the Masked Man came in there and he did the original curve stomp. And he made sure Logan Paul got eliminated. And then he unmasked himself and it was Seth Rollins. Alright? Alright, so I'm not sure if Braun Breaker can't come back, then we're getting Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul. That's gonna be the match. If Braun Breaker can't get back, because that's iffy. That's iffy. Then Drew interfered in this match afterwards. And when he interfered in this match, it made something happen in the match. Because Drew interfered and he went after Cody. Alright, and then Orton RKO'd Drew. Then after he RKO'd Drew, and then Cody went after Drew to get him out of it, to get him out of the chamber situation. Randy Orton RKO'd Cody, and he won. Now, listen. I know what it says on paper. I know what the poster says right now. Right, that Orton versus Drew, it ain't staying that way. It's not staying that way. All right, it's not staying that way. Nigga artists already have already made this situation here, and he made this situation. Now, what's probably gonna happen before Friday? I know on Friday, Jacob Fatu's probably going to blow a casket because he's on say so. Cody gets the title match, but I don't. What about me? What about me? And then Samuel's gonna say the same thing. Alright? And then Anderson Black is probably gonna say, I pinned Orton. So it's not to get a title shot. And we're giving it title shots. And so either this is gonna be a fatal four way or a fatal five way or a 6-way challenge. Something's gonna happen for that match to be different. Alright, it's not staying one on one. It's not. It can't. Now, I don't think that match is gonna finish. I think Jacobs is gonna interfere in that match. Alright, and he's gonna cost Cody the match. I think that's what's gonna happen. Alright, we got 7 weeks to make this shit twist and turn and make chaos happen. We got 7 weeks to make that happen. Alright, it's not staying Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre. It's not. There's no way Cody's not staying in this match. Alright, there's no way Cody doesn't have an opponent at WrestleMania. Not the main event. At least not this year. Maybe next year it changes, and he's not in the title picture, right? And he's doing something else, right? But you know because like flaky fans are right, you know, in some arenas he's the fan favorite. In some arenas they boo him, right? And some like he said, like in some arenas he's the uh some arenas he got the home cooked meal, and in some arenas he's away. All right, and listen, I'm not gonna be mad if you don't like Cody. You just don't like him. You know, there's some people that like Cody, and there's some people who don't. I'm a fan of Cody. Cody's in my top 10. He's in my top 5. He's not in my top 3. It's not. It's not. Alright. But there's no way Cody's not in his main event. Because it's not staying. Like even if Cody wasn't in his main event, right? Right? There's no way Jacob doesn't get into this title picture. Because Jacob has been screwed more times than anybody in the title scene right now. Right? Because he should have won his first match to get into the chamber, and he should have won the second one. Alright? And both times he got screwed out of it. Alright? He's getting into the chamber. I mean, he's getting to the. It's guaranteed. Now I don't know if he's gonna win it. Give me some time, because I don't know who's winning that match. I know Drew's not. I know Drew's not going to win. That I know. I know Drew's not going to win. And you know it's funny. Like when Drew did what he did, he was like, "Oh, I told you what kind of champ I was going to be. I told you what kind of champ I was going to be." And then when Nick Aldis made him defend his title next week, or this Friday, he was like, "Oh, this is bullshit. No, you caused this. You can't be crying about defending your title as you cause shit to happen, because you gotta pick and choose who you fight." Now we almost at 40 minutes, y'all. So I just figured out what I'm gonna do. Let's figure out what I'm gonna do. Every pay per view, the day after, or that Monday, is gonna be a 40-minute podcast. That's what I'm gonna do from now on. Everything else will be shorter, but after the pay per views is when I go 40 minutes. No matter what pay per view it is. All right. But I'm gonna end the show with that. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, share. Make sure y'all watch wrestling. Make sure y'all watch E-Feds. We just had a episode that dropped recently. Make sure y'all watch wrestling. I talk about Raw tomorrow. This is the Hired Gun podcast with the Hired Gun. God bless. I love y'all. I'm out.